I don't know who needs to hear this, but the time to start crocheting your Christmas gifts for family and friends was like yesterday. It's me. I'm the one who needs to hear this. I have not started at all, and you might be in the same boat, but no fear, I am here to help. Scavenging Pinterest, Instagram, Ravelry, it can all get so overwhelming looking for the perfect gift ideas, but I have curated 30 of the cutest Christmas crochet gift ideas. So cute, you might even want to keep them for yourself when you're done. This video is going to have everything from lower effort stocking stuffers to those max effort projects that you might only give away once every 5 years. If you're new here, hi, my name's Erica. I love any and everything yarn related. We primarily focus on crochet here on this channel, although we do dabble in other yarny things from time to time. If you're not new here, then welcome back. So glad you could join me for another pattern roundup video. As with all of my other pattern roundup videos, I will have the Google Doc linked in the description box down below with links to each of the patterns as well as writing out each of the designers in the order that we talk about them in today's video. This video is going to be divided into 3 categories. First, we have stocking stuffers, also known as short and sweet. This is the category for my fellow procrastinators out there, or those of you who just have a lot of people to make things for and limited amount of time. Then we move on to under the tree. In this section, we'll start to get kind of fancy. These are the ones that you're gonna definitely put in a box and wrap nicely. Then we will conclude with max effort, aka I must really love you lots. And this is just a figure of speech. Don't take it too seriously. What you make for people does not indicate how much you love them. We're just having fun over here. So let's go ahead and get started with the stocking stuffer section first. Kicking this section off, we have a classic cold weather essential, the crochet earmuffs. This is a beginner-friendly tutorial here up on YouTube, and I feel like these have been so trendy lately. These earmuffs look like you could find them in a retail store like Alo Yoga or Lululemon, but the best part is that they're actually handmade with love. I don't think you can go wrong with something as classic as a set of earmuffs. Next, we have the cozy ribbed headband, and these are just such a classic staple stocking stuffer yet again. They are timeless. They will never go out of style, in my opinion. I love the ribbing that was used on this one, and ribbing does create for a more comfortable, stretchy fabric. If it were me personally, I would probably do like a single crochet border at the end just to give it a fun little pop of color, but you could easily bust out like 5 of these for all of your friends in your friend group and be done pretty quickly. The seaweed scrunchie is next on our list, and I really feel like this is such an elegant, trendy looking pattern. I would expect to see this at a place like Free People or Anthropologie for some outrageous price of like $30. I think it's because of the mohair. It just looks so soft and luscious, and the seaweed scrunchie is such a great name for it. What are you doing? Oh my gosh. Okay, you never say hi. She's got the zoomies right now. Okay, thank you. I would be remiss if I did not mention the mini neck scarf here. We have this free video tutorial for this easy crochet mini neck scarf, and I actually saw something very similar at Free People. It said that it was hand crocheted, and I don't know if I believe it, but either way it was quite cute. They did do a single crochet border around the neckline, and I'm kind of just obsessed with that technique, so I would probably do the same thing here on this one as well. You could also use a really nice luxurious merino wool yarn to make this even softer and just more bougie for whoever the trendsetter is in your life that would be getting this gift. Next, we have these mini crochet pouches, and I feel like you can't go wrong with crocheting somebody a bag of some sort, even if it's like a mini coin purse. It would be really cute if you could fit like a gift card in here or some chapsticks, add some little chocolates inside, so that way you're mixing what you bought for them along with your hand make. I also just love how kawaii all of these are, from the bear to the cat with the giant eyes. Chubbies by Ash just never misses. This next one is the Crochet Fox Cozy, and I'm gonna be honest, when I first started crocheting, I was a certified cup cozy hater. I did not really understand the benefit of them. They just didn't make a lot of sense to me. I was like, how realistic is it that you're gonna pull out a cup cozy when you go to get your Starbucks? But maybe it's just me maturing in older age. I think it's really nice to romanticize those little moments in your life. And if you have anybody that loves to drink coffee, I think that this would just be a really nice way for them to think of you as they go go and get their morning cup of joe. For anyone who has avid readers in their life, and not just readers, but Kindle readers, we have this Kelly Kindle cover, and I love the texture on this. It looks so stunning. I also really like the rustic charm with the wooden buttons. Not only that, but it is a very practical gift. It's a great way for your friend or family to protect their Kindle. Next is the Happy Scrappy pot holder, and I did want to include a few scrap yarn projects in this roundup. I feel like the holidays are a great time to revisit your stash and try to use up what you can. It's of course okay if you need to go out and buy new yarn for your friends or family's gift, especially if you need something really specific, but I just think it's a good way to dwindle down the stash that otherwise probably just sits there a lot of the year. That being said, I would only use a cotton yarn here, given that it's a pot holder. Acrylic would not do too well in the heat. Lastly, we have the Free Red Panda crochet pattern, and personally, I love red pandas. Turning Red was one of my favorite Pixar movies, but I think that this is a good plug to just think about the person who you're giving a gift to and maybe make their favorite animal as a little amigurumi. I don't think that there is an age limit on enjoying handmade plushies, and they really just bring a little bit of magic to any gift. Now we're moving on to under the tree. We are starting to get a little bit fancy here. So the first one is actually going to be a stocking, which I know we just did stocking stuffers. My family did stockings under the tree. I don't know if anyone else's did or if that was just a me thing. Anyway, the first one is the Pico stocking, and I love the, I don't know what kind of stitch that is, bobble stitch, popcorn stitch. It is so beautiful and gives such great texture to this stocking. Also, the color combination that they used is just so beautiful. I love the cream and the eucalyptus green. I feel like making a stocking for somebody is such a sweet gesture, and if you wanted to fill it with their favorite candies or smaller gifts that you bought for them, I just think that is so sweet. Next, we have these leg warmers by Amazing Paige. She actually does pattern roundup videos here on YouTube, and I would kind of consider her the queen of pattern roundup videos. She does tons of them, but she also made this free pattern for basic leg warmers, and I think this would pair so nicely with the earmuffs that we already talked about in the first section. Another great scrap yarn project as well to use up some of your stash, and really great for those trendier people in your life because leg warmers are back in. The next gift strikes the perfect balance of functional and cute. It is this checkered water bottle holder, and what really caught my eye was that bright yellow color. If you want to get fancy and buy your friend or family member, whoever the gift recipient is, a new water bottle, then that would also give you the ability to know how big to make this water bottle holder. They say the Awalas are very popular with the kids these days. It was the Stanleys. I don't know if that's still accurate. They might have moved on to something new, but either way, it's a fun idea to add your hand make to something that you purchased for them. The next is a classic pom-pom beanie by Daisy Farm Crafts, and I love the yarn that they used for this. I feel like these types of projects where they're very simple are a great opportunity to use a yarn that has a pop of color or something fun in it, maybe even some glitter. If hand making pom-poms is not your thing, you could always buy the faux fur pom-poms from like Michael's or online. I just love this beanie. I think anybody would be more than thrilled to get this wrapped under the tree. Next is the Perfect Mohair beanie here on YouTube. It is a free video tutorial, and I think that these look so luxurious, soft. I would be thrilled to receive one of these even though I crochet. I think adding mohair to any of your projects really just does bring that touch of luxury to them, and it also adds a little bit of warmthness and softness, which is another added bonus. One more hat that we have here, this is the Cardamom hat by Drops, and I know we've had a few beanies already, but I did want to include a little bit of a different silhouette. This almost looks like as if a beanie and a bucket hat had a baby. This might just be better for people in your life who maybe don't like beanies, but I still am loving the fuzziness and the halo of whatever yarn they used. I think that this is just a very cute, fashionable item that you could make. Before you roll your eyes at me on the next one, I'm just gonna say it, they are crochet socks, and I know they seem to be the butt of the joke for a lot of people in the Firebrew Arts community. I'm looking at you, Craft Snark, on Reddit, but hear me out here. I saw this creator, Nora Moon's Instagram reel, and just thought I had to give these socks a shot. These are the crochet socks with anatomical shape, and they are a free video tutorial here up on YouTube. And when you see this reel, You tell me that those don't look comfortable, stretchy, and very soft. If you're somebody who has been wanting to try your hand at socks, but you don't have time to learn how to knit, maybe you don't want to knit, maybe you just prefer crochet, then I would encourage you to give these a shot. I know I'm going to this holiday season. Another really trendy thing I've been seeing around are these felted wool slippers, and so of course I had to find a pattern. These are the warmest wool felted slippers, and they are indeed crochet, although from the photo it's kind of hard to tell. And I'm dying to make a pair of these, but I think that these would just be such a lovely gift for anybody on your list. They look really professionally done. If you're not aware of how felting works, and I'm brand new to it, so correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but you crochet the slipper and then you have to felt them, and there are a couple different methods from what I've seen. The one I've seen the most is the needle felting, and what you're doing is breaking down the fibers. At the end, you come out with something that looks like it wasn't even crocheted. It's so cool. The next one has a kind of special place in my heart because I made it quite a few years ago for Devin when I was first learning how to crochet. It is the Alpine Scarf by Desert Blossom Crafts. I was looking for a scarf that was still masculine, but something that I could make myself, and this is what I settled on, and it turned out so beautiful in person. I will say it was a little humbling because I was still kind of early in my crochet journey, and I never knew how hard it was to just keep your tension straight for an entire scarf, but I love the way that this one turned out. The stitching has such beautiful texture to it. I ended up using a gray and a dark olive green, and I loved that color combination, but the blue and brown is also so scrumptious here as well. The next one I've also actually made in the past as well. These are the Stella fingerless gloves, and I loved everything about this pattern. I made these for my mother-in-law, and they have the most beautiful star stitching on them that I have ever done in my life. The size small is free, but if you want to make the medium or the large, you're going to have to buy the written pattern. I believe there's a matching beanie as well. I love, love, love these gloves. I think they're worth making for sure for anybody on your list. Lastly, we have the Granny Stitch bucket hat, and I think that this is just a great make for about anybody. This is a universal shape that I think would look good on most everybody. Another great way to use up any scrap yarn that you have in your stash. You could do as many colors as you want in this or as few. It will also work up so quickly because it is done in double crochet, it looks like, and a granny stitch, so it's not a very dense single stitch crochet all the way through. I think that this hat packs a punch for the amount of time that you'd have to spend making it. Last category, aka I must really love you lots. First, we have the Rose cardigan by TL Yarn Crafts, and I think she said that this cardigan is made up of like 65 granny squares. So yeah, you really have to love the person that you're making this for. That is so much time and effort, not to mention seaming everything together at the end. I think she has a YouTube video documenting the whole process, so if you're interested, go check that out. But I love the colors that she used here, and the wooden buttons give such a fun touch on that ribbed band. Next is the men's split level pullover, and like I mentioned with the Alpine scarf, I have found it to be a little bit challenging to find crochet patterns that men would actually want to wear, but I feel like this is one of those. Also, I know it says it's for men, but I feel like this could definitely pass for unisex. I would even wear something like this, or people in your life who don't prefer that super tight silhouette. This is just a great option. The mohair striped sweater has been so popular as well, and I was absolutely thrilled when I found a free YouTube video tutorial for this one. These sweaters are worked up usually in treble crochet, and it looks like that is the case here as well. And so although it looks like it's going to take forever to make, you are working in a very tall stitch, and I think it would go by pretty quickly. Again, like I said earlier, I think mohair just adds a really fun touch of elegance to anything, and working in that other type of yarn, it looks like it's just a classic acrylic or maybe cotton yarn. It makes for such fun textural difference throughout your wearable. Next is the Arpeggio set by Evelyn and Peter, and if I was someone who didn't crochet, or even as a crocheter, if I received a set of a scarf and hat, I would be so touched. That is so sweet. But even more so because this set is beautiful and cute and I would actually wear it, I love how thick that scarf is and how long it is, I want to feel like I'm in a blanket walking around. I also really like the rainbow in the yarn that she used and the white striping to offset it. It's all just really beautiful. Another unisex pattern is the Cozy Co-ed cardigan, and this is a free video tutorial and written pattern. I actually ran this one by Devin to see if it would pass the sniff test, and he said that he would wear this, which made me happy because I feel like there's not a lot of crochet clothes he would wear, so I wanted to share this one. I feel like this looks like such a comfy, cozy make too. I don't know why I just picture this man sitting by a fireplace with like his pipe and his slippers. Is that making sense, or is that too niche in my head? The next one I'm actually making for my best friend for her birthday and Christmas, and it is the Dusk Bag by Loose Ends. This bag is just so chic and it gives high fashion vibes to me. I looked on the designer's website and he's actually selling them for like $250. So if you're able to crochet and make this for one of your friends who's into fashion, I think that they would probably freak out. The next one is for my Haunted Mansion fans. We have the Tightrope Girl Tapestry. This is by Crochet or Cry, and again, this is kind of another thing similar to the amigurumi. If the person you're making a gift for is not a Haunted Mansion fan, which the chances are probably not that high that they are, then make them something that means something to them, whether it's their favorite sports team logo or if they're a Taylor Swift fan. Maybe you make an album cover. There's so many different things you can do, and if you're adventurous, you can even make your own graphs out of anything for tapestry crochet. Next is the Quiet Sky crochet blanket, and I think that this is the most stunning blanket pattern that I have ever seen, guys. I love it so much. It mimics like a handmade quilt pattern. It looks like it's pretty big. I would imagine that that's at least a full-size bed, and it's spanning across the entire thing. So if I were to start on this personally, I would have started like January 1st, moving into the next Christmas. If I were to make this for somebody that I knew, I would probably ask them for what colors they would like that would match their interior, just because it is such a time commitment and cost commitment as well to make something of this size and magnitude. Another Afghan, but this one is actually free. This is by the Crochet Crowd. It is the Study of Texture Afghan, and not only do I love the texture and all of the different visual interest from having all of these different stitches, as a crocheter, I feel like this pattern would keep things really fun and fresh, not having to just work the same stitch over and over again for the entire length of a blanket, but getting to alternate it with each row. It's also a really fun way to learn different stitches and to practice different things. If you do want to design a garment or do something later on with those stitches, you get to have almost like a tasting party of all of these different types. The last pattern to round out this pattern roundup is the Crochet Ripple Blanket, and I just love the zigzag stitch and how beautiful that turns out. I also feel that this would be yet again another great way to use up scrap yarn. This calls for weight for yarn, and I cannot tell you guys how much acrylic weight for yarn I have in my closet. Or if you wanted to, you could be more intentional and actually go out and purchase 4 different colors. There's so many different combinations you could do to really customize this for whoever you're gifting it to. That was quite a journey. Those are all 30 of the crochet Christmas gift ideas. So cute, you might want to keep them for yourself when you're done, but you're not going to do that. I hope that you guys enjoyed this pattern roundup and got some good ideas from it. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, subscribe, and I will be back in the future with more crochet related content very soon. Thanks, bye!